With the whole world watching, we have just witnessed a biological woman, also known as just a woman, in a fight with a boxer who was not allowed to compete against women last year because it's a man. The person splitting hairs, everyone's splitting hairs around this person, saying, well, he has XY chromosomes, but I guess we can't call him a man because he calls himself a woman. I don't give a shit. You have XY chromosomes, you're a man. For athletic purposes and other purposes. And this person was banned from competing in international tournaments last year, and yet was allowed to enter the Olympics so he could pummel female boxers. They failed the gender eligibility test. I mean, that's what they're saying. You know why? Because it's a man. The outcome was beyond predictable for anyone with common sense. It took 46 seconds for the woman, his opponent from Italy, to withdraw from the fight in tears. The man is Algeria's Emain Khalif. He repeatedly pummeled her in the face. Look at this below. Look at that. Walloped her. This is what female athletes are up against when the powers that be will not protect them. Megan Rapinoe says it's not happening. She says they're fine. Why don't you tell it to Italian boxer Angela Carini, literally brought to her knees and to tears? F you, Megan Rapinoe. You left the sport. You don't have to deal with this. Your kid, she doesn't have one, is not going to have to deal with this nonsense. Mine is, the listeners of this show have children who are going to have to deal with this. This poor boxer retreated to the corner, yelling, "This is unjust," as her Olympic dream came crashing down thanks to a weak-kneed International Olympic Committee that allowed this to happen. Listen to how the IOC explained its decision just a few days ago.
They are women in their passports, and it's stated that is the case, that they are female. They're competing in the women's category. Again, I don't want to mention their names or whatever, but these athletes have competed many times before for many years.
And were also banned, which you now refuse to acknowledge as you let them play in the Olympics. It remains to be seen how NBC News, the broadcast network of the games here in America, will cover this here at home, since they are as woke and pro-trans, quote, rights as humanly possible. Does anyone remember the women? Anyone at all? Joining me now, Charlie Kirk, founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and host of The Charlie Kirk Show. Charlie, welcome back to the show. This is such an outrage.
Thank you so much. It's a total injustice. I was just reading a USA Today piece right when I was preparing for this. And in the USA Today piece, it's very confusing if you don't actually know the story. It says, woman from Algeria wins decisive bout with woman from Italy. They refuse to even now say transgender woman, which is a fake term, but they don't even say transgender woman anymore. They just say woman. The New York Times has a title. They say, at the center of the chromosome dispute. That's what they now call it. The chromosome dispute. What they're trying to do is confuse readers so that people don't get animated and get upset about this. And people say, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm just going to move on to the next story. Or there must be more to this. Or maybe it was somebody that is intersex or has some sort of chromosomal, an extra chromosome, or I don't know. Instead, this is a biological man from Algeria, which is, it's an interesting part of the story because that is a Muslim country, and why they're also supporting this is kind of bizarre and strange, but that's a side issue at the IOC. But we should expect this. This is the next logical step of America's influence in the world. We are the leaders of the world. We have workshopped trans ideology and men and female sports, and it started here, and now it's in the Olympic boxing and the Olympic platform.
These radical trans activists and those who support them are not going to be happy until a woman is dead. That's what it's going to take. A woman is going to have to die for people to see reason and logic here.
I don't think that would stop it.
Oh, We're
I
inching
don't think
closer
that will
and
stop.
closer, right? We have a
But, I
young
mean, look
girl
what-
with permanent nerve damage in
But
North
it's going
Carolina.
to
We have a
happen.
girl missing all of her teeth now thanks to field hockey in the United
course.
States. We've got this woman pummeled to the face. And this is a boxer. This is not a weak woman. The Italian who was boxing against this Algerian man. She's taken a beating before from other women. She doesn't complain. She said she got in there and within 46 seconds, she knew, and I'll just read what she said. She wrote, "I got into the ring to fight, but I didn't feel like it anymore after the first minute. I started to feel a strong pain in my nose. I didn't give up, but a punch hurt too much. And so I said, enough. I'm leaving with my head held high. I'm used to suffering. I've never taken a punch like that. It's impossible to continue." And then she said, "Who am I to say it's illegal?" She realizes she doesn't set the rules. These poor women are being fed like lambs to the slaughter in the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not Italian, so I'm not going to criticize her. She is weak. Why won't you stand up and say I'm fighting a man? Because she's part of the entire European trans project. Again, this is going to require athletes. And remember, about a month and a half ago, the now repeated gold medalist, incredibly impressive athlete, 1500 meter gold medalist, Katie Ledecky, was asked about men and female sports, and she just dodged the question. It's like, oh, I'm not really sure about that. Again, female athletes are not standing up for this. They're largely okay with this, and or they are not okay with it, but they're too afraid or weak to speak out about it. Men are not going to fix this. You've seen that. I mean, how many times are now men speaking out about this? I speak out about this. Donald Trump speaks out about this. Instead, it needs to be a female-led athlete movement. But that woman who got pummeled in the face, she's upset, she's crying, but then she plays into the injustice. Oh, well, who am I to say that it's wrong? Well, you actually are here to say you could change this. You could now make this your number one issue and say, I just had to fight a man. I'm a tough boxer, and I just got almost knocked out in the first minute because I was fighting somebody unlike a physical specimen I've never seen before. But Megyn, this is only going to continue. It will likely result in permanent damage of women, which the trans movement, by the way, specializes in. The trans movement specializes in permanent physical damage of females, as we know, with gender medical mutilation in our country. But yes, this is America's influence on the world. America will influence the rest of the Western world, and we have decided to make this the standard operating procedure. Of course, we saw what happened with Thomas, the swimmer from the University of Pennsylvania. We did nothing. We allowed Thomas to keep all those awards. Why should we be shocked that the IOC embraces the same idea toxins that we, the United States of America, workshop and implement?
Yes. And a word on what you said about the media and the way they're reporting this. I love the Daily Mail. They speak reason. They write reason. However, they and the New York Post, I feel the same about them, are still using she, her pronouns for men competing in sport. Why? Out of a concern for sensitivity or because it's policy. I beg you to stop doing that. I beg you. Not only is it bizarrely confusing to read the articles. Look at this. This is a man. This is a man who is competing in the boxing tournament for women. This is the guy who punched her so badly in the face she had to leave. Who would want to do this? What kind of a man gets off of punching women in the face?
And again, it is up for a society to prevent the abuse of women, but we don't do that anymore, and we haven't for quite some time. And understand, this is the outgrowth of third wave feminism, because third wave feminism says women don't need to be protected. Women don't need the door to be held open for them. Women don't need a man to protect them. Okay, you don't? Then go box a bunch of men. Read the literature of third wave feminism. No, the third wave feminism says that women do not need, that we are equal to men.
They're captured. Like all these news organizations, and Fox News is there too, are captured by this need to use the proper language. And I've mentioned this article many times, but it's called Pronouns Are Rohypnol. And they are Rohypnol. It was banned on the internet for a long time. Then it finally got published at Medium. And it goes through the fact that it's meant to dull your senses. It's meant to get rid of like the forced attempt to make you say she, her when it's a man, is meant to get you used to looking at a man like we just saw and be like, yeah, she, her, that works. That's okay. That's a thing for a guy with a penis, for a guy with XY, no problem. And it's dangerous because then you get to the point where you're like, sure, how can I say she can't box with the women? How do I say her presence there is inappropriate? especially when you're reporting on a controversy like this, I am begging even the woke publications to use the proper biological pronouns. That is the least they owe us as actual women. This woman who took the beating, Angela Carini, she's a cop in Italy, Charlie. She's not some weak, forgive me, my good friend's a needle pointer. She's not a needle pointer. She's a cop.
Out about it.
She will. I guarantee you she'll get there.
She's co-signing alongside of this.
She's got to be getting it. Her coach came out and said the following. He said, I think it's a male. I don't know if her nose is broken. I have to speak with her. But many people in Italy tried to call and tell her, don't go, please. It's a man. It's dangerous for you. But she, like a lot of women, Charlie, a lot of women came out and said, I really believe in respect for your opponent. You can't be abusive like any sport. It has to be a vehicle for, I can remember. I can't understand the translation here, but basically she says respect for your opponent. I think this girl, much like Paula Scanlon, one of the swimmers who went up against Leah Thomas, might be staying silent in the moment, but this point has got to be a before and after moment for her. Grand Canyon University, a private Christian university in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, believes that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. GCU believes in equal opportunity and that the American dream starts with purpose. By honoring your career calling, you can impact your family, friends, and community. Change the world for good by putting others before yourself. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's online, on-campus, and hybrid learning environments are designed to help you achieve your unique academic, personal, and professional goals. With over 330 academic programs as of December 2023, GCU meets you where you are and provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Let it flourish. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.